What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Listen, that fires me up, Julia, because, and Tiffany knows that when I was your age, I went through the same thing, if not worse. And, you know, if she said it best, if you don't believe in yourself, who will, right? If you're casual about this business, you'll become a casualty. That's something I always heard Bruce say, right? Don't treat this business like it's some regular job, because it's not, right? You better get excited about what this business has to offer, right? You better get excited about your future. What is it that you're passionate about? I mean, that fired me up like you wouldn't believe, Julia, so I'm super proud of you, and hopefully you continue to do what you're doing. Now, today I want to go over something that I believe is critical to the expansion of the hierarchy, your individual teams, and that's warm market recruiting. So there's warm market, and then there's cold market. Does anyone know the difference? Okay, what's the difference, Shonda? Warm market and cold market.
Warm market is people that you know or have some type of connection to, and cold market is people you don't know.
Yeah. So cold market is complete strangers. It's like dipping into one of those, what are those ice machine thingies? Cold plunges, right? I used to take a sick pleasure in plunging myself into the cold market. And I think that's because, you know, there's not any real embarrassment or discomfort when somebody tells you no and they're a complete stranger, yes or no.
Right.
But when you go to the pastor at your church, when you talk to your mom who is telling you, oh my God, how can you throw away the education, right? At the liberal arts school, how could you throw that away for this thing that you're doing? You mean the thing that pays $80,000 a month, right?
Yeah.
That thing? You might get a little bit of discomfort when you go to a person like that. That's supposed. So one thing a friend of mine would always tell me is that some people have the right intentions for you, but the wrong directions for you, right? That's something I wrote down and I never forgot. They might have the right intentions for you, but not the right directions, okay? If you are looking to speak a different language, let's say you speak English and you want to learn Vietnamese, okay? You're not going to come to me to teach you how to speak Vietnamese, and vice versa. Your parents or whomever you know might have a little bit of discomfort in speaking to, okay? Maybe that's not the right person to get advice from. But to bring it back to the warm market discomfort, okay? If you can get over that hump of discomfort, on the other side of that is a Samir to Shaq, okay? That's the best example that I can come off the top of my head, because, I don't know, Shaq has earned what off you in 20 years? 1-2 million in passive income, guys, okay? And maybe you have a friend like that, or maybe you, and it's not just warm market, there's also something called lukewarm market, and these are people that know of you, or you know of them, right? You can facially recognize them subconsciously. You've seen them, they've seen you on social media, a mutual connection, right? Are you willing to step outside of your comfort zone, okay, to spark, okay? Think of like you got two pieces of coal or rock, and if you spark it the right way, what happens? A fire, right? And then we're going to talk about, if you continuously focus on that, how adding new logs to that fire can create, you know, a wildfire, right? But it starts with a little spark, right? So the purpose, guys, of warm market recruiting is speed, okay? When you're in the cold market, things could take a while, yes or no?
Yeah.
I mean, the reason that is because you don't have the same credibility and connection with strangers, right? But, what's your name again? Nalia. If Nalia reaches out to, give me a name of one person you've already recruited. Anybody, right? Sade. Okay. And how long were you in the business for before you reached out to Sade? 2 weeks, right? Guys, in regular business, things don't happen in the first 2 weeks of signing a business contract, right, Peter? I mean, when you started the truck, did you see momentum right away in 2 weeks? No. So this is 24 to 72 hours, guys, is the focus when you recruit someone brand new to getting them a teammate as well, okay? 24 to 72 hours are within building a list and building a relationship with them. The second purpose for warm market focused recruiting is efficiency, guys. When you're trying to cut something, okay, you can cut it with a dull knife or a sharp knife. Obviously, it takes way more effort to cut a steak with a butter knife, right, than it does with a steak knife. Well, when you're cold market recruiting, it's like trying to cut a steak with a butter knife. You might get there eventually, right? But if you had a sharp steak knife, you can get there in record time, right? Next is new markets, guys. When you're warm market recruiting, okay, I can recruit, I could have nothing going on at all. Zero. I have no future in terms of like who I can sit down with to get a policy from, but I can go and recruit Xander, who's from a totally different state with totally different cultures, believe me, guys. And he has a group, a core of core people that he can call on to schedule appointments with. Whereas if I knocked on the door of, let's say, Scotty, right? That's one of his clients, is a business owner in his home state, right? If I went and knocked on Scotty's business door, maybe he shoos me away. No soliciting, whoop, and it's over. But he knows Scotty, right? And Scotty is willing to sit down and have a conversation with someone he knows rather than a complete stranger, yes or no? Right? So new markets emerge when you enter the realm of warm market recruiting. And then there's leverage, which kind of goes hand in hand of what I'm saying here, right? I can leverage, I just recruited a business owner in Maryland, right? She's super busy, so she's not here today, super engaged with a pretty profitable business. Now, she has clients already with that business. She runs a beauty salon, waxing, eyebrows, nails, all that. Okay? Do I do nails? Do I know anything about any of that? No. Right? And the girls would probably be scared of me or something, right? They're willing to sit down with me now, though, because they trust Veronica. Okay? Now, I have something that Veronica doesn't have, and Julia spoke about this in her interview, and that's competence, right? Confidence stems from competence, knowing what you're doing, right? So that's a really big tip there. How much time did you spend last night on your Friday night perfecting and mastering your craft? Right? Were you watching Netflix or POL? Did you go to the club or did you call your upline? Right? What do you do with your Friday nights? Because she gets to leverage my competence level now, guys. She has the credibility of which I leverage in her personal market, right? I couldn't meet with those clients without her. But she also can't get the results by herself. And then simplicity. When you're in the cold market trying to recruit people, guys, things could get complicated because you don't have the rapport and the relationship with those cold market strangers. I mean, you can fix that by investing time in them, right? But it's way more simple when Xander calls Adric, right? And we're going to talk about what the call looks like in a second. Less resistance. remind me anymore time? Sade? Yeah. So Sade, once she has seen how it works or experienced how it works because she got called, when Jen has her call somebody else, right, that she knows, do you think that she's going to resist it? Is she going to have that much anxiety about it? No, she just saw a friend of hers do it, right? And the deeper you go through that leg, it gets easier and easier and easier, which creates momentum and a multiplication, a compound effect, which I think we've spoken about recently. So, Bruce Lee said, I don't fear the man that learns 1,000 kicks. He said, I fear the man that learns one kick and practices that kick 1,000 times. Okay? So, we're all looking for different magic bullets. Sometimes you just need to master one core fundamental, right? Shaquille O'Neal was not known for his ability to shoot three-pointers, right? Okay? But he could just yam it in your face, okay? He could take it to the bucket or whatever the verbiage is, right? With basketball, right? The core skill here, guys, is setting a interview with somebody or inviting them to the hot meeting, okay? So if I recruit Xander, okay, and he just came in for an orientation, we made a list, I'm going to set the tone, and it says here down below, remember, as the trainer, you set the tone and breathe confidence into the new recruit. It's your job to give them, and it just kind of exude that confidence in them. They buy you, okay? If you're nervous or stuttering or anything, you maybe shouldn't even be doing that orientation, and your upline should be doing it, because it's everything. When I sit down with Xander for the orientation, we made the list, I'm going to tell him, so listen, you're serious about growing teams, right? You want to be the owner of that barbershop, not the barber, right? I mean, all these examples, we've already kind of set the tone, but now it's time to actually get to work. And what real work looks like is starting to call people, okay? So can you grab your cell phone for me? So he grabs his cell phone, right? Who on this list would you say you have the best relationship with? You could just call them and answer them, or maybe even literally just walk into their house and it's no problem. Who's that? Adric, okay. How do you know Adric? How'd you guys meet? School? So you guys have known each other for a while, okay? Do me a favor, can you call him right now? Yeah. Okay. When you call him, all I want you to say is, listen, I started working with this financial company. They're hiring right now and I thought of you, right? I'm actually with my trainer right now, and I want you to talk to him, her, they, whatever you identify as, right? Do you have a moment to speak with them really quick? And hand the phone to me. That's it. Is that hard, Xander? No. Okay. Give him a call really quick. And I'm that direct, because if you're not, then that's going to cause what? Hesitation, fear, doubt, and you're not going to be able to, get that spark that I spoke of earlier, right? Okay, so he calls, and then as the trainer, the person who's actually booking the appointment, getting the person to the office, this is what you say, okay? Now I'm speaking to Adric, okay? So, ring, 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 ring.
Hey, good evening.
What's going on? Adric, well, you already spoke with your boy and passed the phone to me. So, Adric, good afternoon. It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Josh. I'm actually one of the trainers in our firm here, and I'm training your friend Xander. He said a lot of good things about you. I just want to introduce myself and pause, okay? So, every script, I believe, has, the real meat inside of the script, okay? We have a script that Shaq and Samir created. We can get it on the drive somewhere, and it's a lot longer than this. But the meat of the script is literally 4 questions, and it's the same 4 questions every single time. On the phone, when you're out and about prospecting, every single interaction you have when you're attempting to introduce this business to somebody is this. In the gym, I have asked the same 4 questions for 10 years straight. Okay? So I just wanted to introduce myself, Adric, and 1, just see what you're doing for work right now. So what do you do for work?
I work at a restaurant currently.
Yeah? Okay. 2, how long have you been doing that?
About 2 years.
2 years, okay. 3, would you say that's something you enjoy? Do you love it?
It gets me by, but I don't see myself here for long.
Okay, got you. So 4, and that's it. We're transitioning into scheduling the actual day and time after this. But if it were flexible enough and the money were right, are you open to exploring any additional or alternative work options?
I mean, yeah, if I get some more information.
Okay, awesome. So what are you scheduling them to? You have 2 options. You can schedule them to the opportunity meeting. We call that op meetings here. Which, how often do we do that? Every single week, right? You have multiple options throughout the week. Great, so Adric, we're having a company overview this weekend that will actually dive a lot deeper into our opportunity. Xander's actually going to be helping me conduct that. It'll be from 9:30 to 11 a.m. Will you come with him?
Yeah.
Yeah, that works? Okay. So if that doesn't work, because that's my go-to, okay? That really should be everyone's go-to, okay? But if it doesn't work for them, for whatever reason, redirect it. Hey, no worries. We can schedule a one-on-one meeting, okay? Before I talk about that, guys, this is the best way to speed multiply and to speed recruit and multiply everything, okay? Because if you have one person bring back 5 people, that's 5 hours of meetings that you just saved yourself. Does that make sense? But if they're not able to make it, great. So I'd like to just schedule an interview with you at my office, Adric. That way we can get you some more information on what we're offering, you know, compensation, training, licensing, make sure it's a good fit. What's a better day for you between, and I literally always say tomorrow or the next day. So what's today, Saturday? Hey, what's a better day, tomorrow or Monday?
Monday.
Monday? Okay. Are you you know, do you prefer mornings or afternoons?
Mornings.
Mornings. So I actually have a meeting at 10 a.m., but you think you could come by maybe 11:30?
Yeah, perfect.
That works? Okay, good. Boom. Now, how many times can you do that? And this actually takes me to the last point here. Detach yourself from the result, guys. I find that a lot of times when people make the decision to double-digit recruit or just become a recruiter in general, when you don't get the immediate gratification that you see some of us getting, you get down on yourself. You might say, "Oh, maybe this recruiting thing's not for me. I'm more of a producer." Detach yourself from the results, right? Does the McDonald's, I learned this a long time ago, does the McDonald's franchisee cry every time a car passes by his franchise that didn't come and buy a Big Mac? No, because he knows there's enough cars that will. Know the numbers, accept the numbers, and work the numbers. This will help you do the first one, right? Do you know the numbers? Do you know that if you book 10 invites to the op meeting, that usually 4 will show up and 1 will join? Have you talked to your upline about that? If you don't know the numbers, go to your upline after this is over and talk to them about it. And then lastly, just consistency, guys. The compound interest effect in investment accounts does not work if you invest in year 1, pause for years 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then get back to it in year 6. It won't have that same magical compound effect, right? So you gotta be willing to commit to consistency, right? So hopefully that helps, guys. Let's put it to work.